I'm Ms. Kamati Shikwambi, and I would like to welcome you all to this first recorded contact session for the year 2018. This is Advanced Certificate in Senior Primary Education, ACPE and NSHE12. Now, let's look. What will the papers look like? First of all, you will have your cover page where you have to make sure that you have received the correct question paper. It should say the course Advanced Certificate in Primary Education, Natural Science and Health Education, ACPE, NSHE12. There will be spaces provided for you to write your name, your student number, your ID number, and your examination center, and of course, your student signature. Instruction, and to make from you. The instruction will be there on the paper for you, and you have to plan your time per question, and you may write with a blue or with a black pen. Now, let's look at NSHE12 first. To prepare for your paper, you must look at the objectives in the study guide of the subject, and also you can make use of the grade 10 physical science book or even the examination booklet that NAMCO provides. And remember, the following is not the examination paper. This is only question to guide you with your preparation for your exams. When you are preparing for your exam, you need to be able to ask yourself the following question. Number 1, did I read the asked questions correctly? 2, did I understand the question? Number 3, will I be able to answer the questions correctly? And number 4, will I be able to explain it to my student in such a way that they will also understand? Very important questions. When you are also preparing for your exams, you need to study with your syllabi in order to know what your aims and objectives are. The question was set up to correlating the questions found in all your assignments and then the content from each study guide. The assignments handed in for 2018 must still be used in preparation for the examination throughout the year. It will be wise to get the assignments of all the courses to get acquainted with the content of each assignment. Once again, the following is not the examination paper. It's only questions to guide you with your preparations. Will you be able to study with your syllabi? Let's look at the first questions. Usually, these questions are based on the periodic table for you. So you need to get acquainted with your periodic table. Here, you must know what is the protons, what are the neutrons and electrons. Would you be able to identify them on your periodic table? Would you be able to identify the chemical symbols? Do you know how to calculate neutrons? And would you be able to explain the different types of particles the atom contains? Do you also know the formula for density? Would you be able to do simple calculation based on density? And would you also be able to calculate the density of an irregular solid? Can you name the different groups in terms of properties and trends? These are all questions that you have and you must ask yourself on the periodic table. Now, let's look at question 2. Can you take measurements with your different instruments, including naming the units, which is very, very important? Can you identify different pieces of apparatus and what the uses are? If you are given different types of pieces of apparatus during the exams, will you be able to identify and say, this is a measuring cylinder, this is what we measure with the measuring cylinder, this is a pipette, this is what we use to measure with a pipette? So, will you be able to take different measurements with different instruments? Would you be able to differentiate between metals and non-metals? Can you define the term alloys, and would you be able to give examples of alloys? Now, let's look at question 4, 5, and 6, which sometimes usually deals with gases of the air and also sometimes matter and electricity. Do you know how to test for the following gases? Carbon dioxide, hydrogen, and oxygen. Will you be able to outline the chemical test for water? And you know that the test for water, we've got 2 tests for water. Would you be able to outline both of them? Do you know the uses of all of these gases? And also the percentage in air. Will you be able to discuss the electricity and give simple calculation, and also be able to outline safety precautions? And usually with this simple calculation, you will have to know your formula, you will have to know how to substitute, and you will also have to know what your unit for your given calculations. Will you be able to explain the differences between ionic bonding, covalent bonding, and metallic bonding? Will you also be able to give illustrations with your explanations? Do you know the different types of bonding that we find in atoms? The last 4 questions usually deals with waves, or sometimes sounds, and sometimes light. You need to concentrate on that chapter. Do you know the differences between ferrous and non-ferrous materials? Would you be able to give examples? Do you know why shadows form? Do you know the speed of sound in different materials? Or do you know the differences between reflection and refraction of light? Very important questions. Can you also explain the different range of audible frequencies in different species? Very important questions that you have to ask yourself when you are dealing with the chapter of waves, sounds, and light. Let's look at electricity. Do you have knowledge about electricity, its uses, dangers, instruments that are used to test and explain electricity by defining terms like static electricity? Would you be able to do that? Can you calculate cost and solve simple given calculations on electricity? And here again, need to concentrate on the formula, unit, and substitution. Do you know applications of electromagnetic induction? Would you be able to answer questions on them? Or would you also be able to understand it in such a way that you can explain it to your learners? Can you explain magnetic field lines between magnetic poles? And you must know that we've got two types of poles, and you must be able to label them when you are given in the examination paper. And once again, take note that this is not the examination paper. It is only questions to guide you in your preparation for the examination. I wish you all the best and luck for the examination. Please, once again, make use of the NAMCOL examination booklet for more information. Remember that input is always equal to output. Start to prepare yourself very early and do not try to study all the work the day before your examination.